Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Scott. What's up, Scott?
Greetings all.
And Suzy Q, here are you.
I haven't seen you guys in so long. I'm back.
You're back, man. Cool. Welcome
I'm
back.
back in black. Okay.
Oh God, I'm just thinking of that. Oh God.
Right? Remember that? That was like one of my favorite scenes when he's like leaping. So we were going, he's like, I'm back! And then he crashes.
It was so cool.
Speaking of Spider-Man, I finally got to see Into the Spiderverse today.
What'd you think of it?
I gotta tell you, I rented it today on the PlayStation Network, right? I absolutely friggin' loved it. I really did.
We thought you would.
Dude, I was like emotional, like in the beginning, and spoilers for Into the Spider-Verse, okay? Because I have to talk about it, but I was very emotional in the beginning when Spider-Man dies and Miles Morales, was left, and then Kingpin is just. You had the funeral and Mary Jane and Aunt May, and I'm like, oh, like it was like, oh my God, and and then you got to see, other universe versions of Spider-Man. Nicolas Cage plays Spider-Man Noir. Noir from like the 30s Spider-Man, and then it was Spider-Ham, which is like Peter Porker, which is great. You had Spider-Gwen, she's Spider-Woman, we call her Spider-Gwen, and you had this other Spider-Man who was basically he was Spider-Man for like so many years, and he was married to Mary Jane, and she wanted kids, and then they separated. He didn't want to have kids, so he was miserable. He was overweight. He was like, stuff. But it was amazing. The whole problem is like,
and they had I don't know if you mentioned it, the manga Spider-Man 2.
Yes, Penny Parker. Yes, yeah. From the manga, right. So here's my take on the whole thing and why when I first heard about Miles Morales having an animated series, I was against it. You have to understand, from my point of view, I always was like, Peter Parker is Spider-Man, no one else. When there was the animated series, they did have something precursor to anything Dan Slott did about all these spiders coming together from different universes with Madam Web. All that stuff, and I thought that was very cool back then. But in the comics, they tried to do this thing called Ultimate Spider-Man, which was an alternate universe. Now, they always tried to do this comic line, whether it be 2099 or something, that they wanted to stick, where they wanted it to eventually be bigger than the Marvel Universe. And stuff never caught on that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could never replace the Marvel Universe. And this whole thing about them trying to get Ultimate to replace the whole entire line did not work. While it was popular, it wasn't popular in that sense. I mean, Brian Michael Bendis had made the conscious decision to have, in the Ultimate line, Spider-Man in our current time, Peter Parker, with a younger Aunt May, and, it was just different. Everything happened different in this universe. And what happened was, Peter Parker died, okay? And Miles Morales, this character that Brian Michael Bendis created, took over the Ultimate Spider-Man book, which at the time I flipped because I was not, you know what it is? I know from a standpoint what they were trying to do. I was in the know, and I was like in the community to know what the attempt was. And it's basically because there was an attempt to get this line to replace all the lines. I got pissed off because I'm not throwing out, 20, 30, 40, 60 years of continuity, or you know what I'm saying, like, or 80 years of Marvel continuity because of whatever it is, because of you're trying to make something hip. So I was totally against Brian Michael Bendis for that. And I just hated the character Miles Morales. And the moment that happened, I dumped the Ultimate Spider-Man line, and I never went back to read it or anything. And it's the first time ever I ever actually dumped a comic in a long time. And when they tried to do this thing with the movie, I was against it because I'm like, you know what? Why do we have this thing? Because in the comics they were trying to do it too, where they're trying to get somebody else to be Spider-Man other than Peter Parker. And I'm like, why do you need to do that? Why do you need to knock the main one down for the other ones to rise, and I never understood that. And even in the comics, they try to make it like, oh, Miles Morales is better, Miles Morales is better. But if you want it to exist on its own, okay, but you don't need to knock the legend of Peter Parker, the original. So when I heard about this, when Chris told me about the animated movie was about Miles Morales, like, I hate Miles Morales. Like, no, this sucks. No, 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 no. And I was against it no matter what. I was like, oh, this is ridiculous. My son saw it, Joe, and Anthony saw it. And, you know, they're huge Spider-Man fans because I got them into Spider-Man. You know, it was like a thing. And Marvel. So they're like, Dad, you got this is like right up there with is like Spider-Man 2, you know, like right there. So I'm like, you know, and Joe showed me 10 minutes of it, and I'm like, you know, wow, this was really good. But then he stopped it at 10 minutes. So today, being that it was a really, really sad day for me, because it was 15 years that I lost my dad today, you know, and I was just not in a good way, and I just wanted to find something to do to keep me busy. I was off today, and I decided that I was going to finally rent this movie and watch it. And, you know, I felt it was a great movie. You know, this was like, I do like the character in the movie of Miles Morales and his father and his mother and this whole backstory and everything. And, you know, the thing about Spider-Man, and especially at the end, the after credit scene about Spider-Man 2099. And then he goes to the Spider-Man universe from the 60s cartoon where he's like, that was like hysterical. I thought that was hysterical. But the movie, they had, you know, in that universe, Doc Ock was female. So female, Doc Ock. And it was just, and Aunt May was like stronger, and she was smart and high tech like Peter Parker. It was crazy. So, and Peter Parker in that universe before he died had blonde hair, which is like, what did they have blonde hair for? Because, you know, when it was cloned, like Ben Reilly dyed his hair blonde. So like right off the bat, I'm like, oh, okay. So this thing had it all, and I really, really thought it was a great movie, and I do rank it high up. You know, I rank it like Spider-Man to Spider-Man from Sam Raimi, you know, and then this is like right under that, you know, and then after that it's like, you know, Amazing's thrown there, and Amazing 2 and Spider-Man 3, and then Homecoming's all the way on the bottom. But I really enjoyed it, and I'm really happy with it. And, you know, I do read about Miles Morales in Champions, which, you know, again, it's different from different universe, you know, but it's just, and I also read Brian Michael Bendis' last thing with Miles Morales, where he basically felt it was wrong, I guess, for him to imply that his character was better than Peter Parker or try to have him replace it. And the character he had talked to Peter Parker and say, look, man, I'm giving up the name because this is you. You know, I got to make my own name. But of course, because of the success of the Into the Spider-Verse, Marvel was like, oh, we can't have him call himself something different. That would not work with the fans. So we got to keep calling him Spider-Man. So again, I love the movie. And then throughout the day, I played that zombie game, which, you know what, I know it's like an indie game, but I love it because my thing is I love that you get to shoot zombies. A lot of times when I play Resident Evil, I get mad because I just wish they would do a Resident Evil game where if you run out of bullets, you're screwed, you know? And I don't like that. I like I just want to shoot these freaking things, and it's like, oh, now I got to measure how many bullets I spend, like how much I use to shoot this thing. I don't like that. I rather like not that it has to be infinity like bullets, but I would rather like a Resident Evil game where you just don't run out of bullets like that. I think it takes away from the enjoyment of the game. And I think that's why I wasn't playing it that much, is because, you know, back in the day I had to do it like that. But nowadays with all these games out, you have enough ammo and stuff like that. And I just want to enjoy the game where, you know, put more bullets in there and stuff. So this game, you have, you know, you buy the bullets and you're like, you know, shooting a thing. It's like, and you got to use your brain because you got to figure out how to survive in each wave.
Yeah.
You have barricades, you have this. So today I got up to wave 7, which was pretty impressive. So I like that. And then at night, I was just writing a whole new beginning for the new book because, again, the book I just finished kind of leads into it. You know, it's so I'm doing a new 14th book, like a new beginning to, you know, the prequel. So again, you know, like I said in my post, you know, a lot of times people think I'm annoying posting about my books. I like doing it. It makes me happy. If it makes me happy, that's the main thing. I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying? So to write books is free. To publish it sometimes is not. But I'm not publishing the 13th book yet. I'm writing the new book, 14, and we'll see where it goes. So that's that. That's me. So the next book will be a prequel to Promise Dream. Okay? The next book, it will be first Tomorrow Song book leading right into this one. So, and then we, of course, you know, in that series we have Paradise is Life, and we have Perfect Wish. So
Sweet.
I have that one.
You have this one.
I do. I have Perfect Wish.
That's right. I know. That's awesome. So I'm
I know.
happy. Yep. So I'm happy that's going to be doing books again. It makes me excited to do books. I just, you know, for a while not putting a book out drives me nuts, you know, but while I'm not getting the book out yet, there is hope that it's going to happen. So, I mean, I'm right. You know the way I am, too. That's a motivator for me when I finish a book. Then I'm like, wow, I got to just do stuff to pay everything off so I can get it done. And that is like the biggest motivator for me, because if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. And I want to do the book. I want to pay, you know, I want to do a whole bunch of things. And this, you know, is a big motivator for me, you know. So that's when you need motivation sometimes, you know. There you go. And I'm feeling better too. So I went to the dentist too early today. It's funny thing with the story about that is I've been having pain here, like numbness and coldness in the chin.
Yeah.
So I went, and the first thing my dentist said was, did you ever get into an accident or you hit something in your childhood that you got here? I'm like, well, aside from what, like getting into fist fights, like bullies, like punching me in the mouth or something, there is one instance where when I rode my bike, it was back in, you know, back then we all had, it was like Stranger Things. Everybody was riding their bike around.
Didn't need helmets.
Right. I didn't have helmet on. And like, you know, we ride our bikes, we play in the street, you know, game on. That's basically what it was. So I was racing around the house like an idiot, like speeding my bike. And what happened was there was a bee that flew in my face or something. You know, like when the bee goes to your ear and you
Yeah.
So I wasn't paying attention because I was like this, and I smashed into a cement wall.
Oh.
And what happened was I smashed here where my lip split open and there was blood everywhere, and I hit this part, you know, right here.
Yeah.
Right? So this whole part here, okay? So now, mind you, they sewed the lip back together. They, you know, they did whatever they did, the surgery, whatever thing they did, they sewed it back, right? But it takes decades for whatever damage caused that thing to manifest itself.
Yeah.
So he told me, yeah, that's it. Because now, because of that accident, I have a thing with these that they have to monitor now, because it may be something that grows into a root canal, like a whole thing. So right here, they took x-rays today, and you know, now at least I like knowing, thank God I know what the ailment is. Because it was driving me nuts, and it drives Sharon nuts when I'm on WebMD trying to figure it out. And she's like, stop going on WebMD. You're driving me not sleeping at night. I'm like, maybe I have this. Then I'm like, well, maybe
there's a little cartoon someone posted on Facebook. You were talking about this. You see the slug coming in, like the wife slug coming in. She's asking, did you ever solve that sore throat? And you see the husband slug lean back, gargling, but on the desk is a thing of salt.
Right. So I
Thought that was funny.
so yeah, because he's goggling because he never solved his throat problem. Yeah, that is funny. When something's wrong with me, I get all paranoid, I get all hypochondriac, and I get all like, stupid about it. Because again, when you get older, it's not that you need death's door, but you're older. Like when you're younger, you have like a healing factor, like Wolverine. When you're older, you're like, why is this thing healing? Like, what's up? Yeah. Where's my hair? I don't know. It's like stupid shit. So I found out one ailment of all my ailments. Yay!
When I was younger,
an accomplishment.
I was living in Fairview Heights. Mom and Dad, I said, don't run around downstairs. Don't run around downstairs. Well, what do you think I did? I ran around downstairs. My mouth hit, I slipped and lambasted my mouth against an end table.
Mm-hmm.
I've got pictures of it somewhere. And my mouth was like in a pucker for several weeks. And I couldn't even eat ice cream. That's how bad. And I forget how long after that, had a canteen. And the strap, I forget if the strap broke or the strap was already broken. I forget what. But once again, it's like years later, things already healed up.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, boom, what happened hits me in the mouth. And it's like, how I don't have any teeth problems I will never know.
See, when I was little, I had this bad ear infection that I'll never forget.
I had one of those.
This was so bad that I had to go to the hospital. And the problem is that, look, you're not going to always get people that know what they're doing 100% of the time, which is bad because I was a child, So they would try, it was like the weirdest, to the view of a child compared to my view of me now. I just see them sitting me in this thing. They had all these freaking tools going in the ear, right? So they were pulling out whatever they were pulling out, and I don't know what they did, but when it was over, I couldn't hear right. So I kept asking them, why can't I hear right? Why can't I hear right? Why can't I hear right? And then what was said to me was like, well, this is the way your hearing is going to be from now on. And I was genuinely pissed that they damaged my hearing where it wasn't 100% like it was before. And I was so upset because I'm like, first time ever I experienced like something like that where something happened to me and I wasn't going to be 100%, and it was never going to be 100%. And I was genuinely at that age, I was really angry because I was like, that's effed up because now for the rest of my life, I will never hear as much in this ear compared to this ear. So weird side effects, just like Daredevil or something, of this not being 100%. This thing grew more than 100% on this side
because you became more dependent on that far
right
ear.
So it's just craziness. I'm not deaf in the ear, but
yeah,
it's I can hear a lot less on this side. So that's a little history. Not that you needed that history.
Yeah, contrary to me is I'm just glad I grew up during the time that I did, because my parents I would have been taken away, and my parents would have been, because every time I turned around, I was getting hurt. Mom always said, she joked about how she had to keep insurance papers in her purse because she was a bear.
When you're young, you're running around. Like I was always every weekend. Like there was weekends sometimes that I spent when I was really young at my grandmother's house, like on my dad's side, right? And I was always like falling on my knees and skinning my knees and blood all on my knees. And I was always active in the yard, like catching like bugs and frogs, and like taking my grandfather with me, running around the yard with the trees and everything. And I was just very, very active. I had my bikes, I had my things, I had my Power Wheels, I had all my stuff. So that was just for me that was great. So, and then years later, when you work in retail too, I worked in retail, and
oh god,
you do damage to your body because you're unloading trucks and you're bending your knee. And then when you get jumped 20 years after that, it's like, wow, I can't not. I mean, your body is not
Yeah.
like you were when you were 18, you know, and it's like you put a lot of wear and tear in it because of, you know, jobs you had. I did jobs in manual labor, you know. I didn't sit on my ass like, you know. Now you need to get jobs where you, as you get older, where you're just more clerical or something, because
Yeah.
you can't really. But I really was, you know. Now I got to watch, but it's very manual labor, so body wears out after a while. So not that we're trying to depress you with the old man Matrix Lord, old man Scott, and make a comic book out of it. And see, it's so boring that we put Suzy to sleep.
Yeah.
So we didn't even need to read her a story. We just made her feel miserable of our own like crazy lives, basically, right, Suzy?
Yeah. All the things I put this body through. I'm certain that the warranty is already long.
The warranty.
Yeah, the warranty's long since been used up.
Well, I gotta tell you, I
did the ball in my foot. I still remember this. I was about 12, 13 years old. I was living in Iowa. We were living at this complex. I'll make it short because I know we got
right.
Hello, little bear. But nonetheless, I was coming back from the pool one day. Stopped too soon, tore the ball in my foot. Okay, fine. No sooner than heal. See, I'm the type of person that if it's going to get injured, a lot of times it's going to get injured twice. So, but nonetheless, next time I'm going to the pool, and I literally wasn't even running or anything. I was just doing my normal speed.
Right.
I hit a curb just right, tore that same spot, and I make it to the pool, and I'd say, Sue, I cut my foot. Do you think I should show Mom? And she goes, oh, yeah. I mean, it was nice and filleted. But, okay. But it's dirty. Shouldn't I stick it in the pool first?
Oh, my God.
See, in my mind, I'm thinking.
You don't know the chlorine.
Yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, we've got a pool.
Oh, my God, no.
I didn't do that. I didn't do it, I swear. But because in my mind, I'm thinking, here we have a pool.
Oh, yeah, sure. You don't know. Right.
It's going to get nice and clean. And,
you didn't stick it in there?
No, I didn't.
Thank God. Who stopped you?
It was, but the way it was.
Who stopped you from putting it?
There's no way it was sewn up, so it had to.
So who stopped you from putting your foot in there, though?
My sister.
Oh, good. Thank God.
Because I mean, come on, you're thinking pool. It's got chlorine. It's got chemicals. It's going to clean it enough.
Yeah.
So.
Wow,
So you can't say I wasn't thinking.
We actually put Suzy to sleep. We actually put Suzy to sleep. Look at that shit.
No,
she's not like that. She's not like.
No.
We're boring. Oh, I know. All right, guys, we're getting out of here. Thank you very much. Thank you, Suzy. Welcome back.
Thanks. Welcome back,
I'm
Suzy.
so glad to be back. I missed you guys so much.
Take care. Bye for now.